you're coming 5 and 9, really strong signal here.
Okay.
Troy, and name is Mauri as no, and location is about 2 miles from Christian, which is a little town here on the island. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and thank you for the contact.
Okay, so this is a request for Robin and Steve on the Clansman 320 group. You've asked to get a video on the VRM 4146. So it's a modular radio. I'm just going to turn this down. It's a modular radio. You've got the head unit here, which has got all the frequency knobs at the top, a bit like decade switches on the Clansman. You can actually program channels on this. I've never bothered, to be honest. Then you've got the power button, which is off, low power, which is in the milliwatts. I assume that's so you can drive an amplifier. I think medium's round about 50 watts, maybe round about that, maybe a bit more. High power is full power, and boost is like speech processing, which gets taken into account. Modes, program modes, AM, CW, LSB, USB, and CW. There's obviously two CW type filters. Speaker with a squelch, which works quite well. And then you've got gain for the volume. This is a dimmer for the lights. There's little lights in behind the frequency. Now some of mine have packed in. I need to really have a look inside and see if I can replace them with LEDs. But this alters the dimness. You can dim it on them. I've just got a Racal speaker connected. If you look at the back of this unit, you've got a control cable. That's just makeshift speaker cables because I don't have the actual connector for that. You can actually set up a local remote. You can link up a 400 watt amplifier. I've got mine set on the 100 watts. And then you've got other connectors here, audio connectors on the back. So these radios were mainly used in vehicles, as far as I'm aware. Hold on a minute, let me just move that. I'm trying to do things with one hand on the radio. Yeah, so I mean, these were used mainly in vehicles. They were fitted in anything from military vehicles right through to cars. There's not much on the internet about them. I can't find any manuals on these radios. There is a brochure you can find if you search on Racal VRM 4146. Some guy's got a sales brochure which sort of shows it in a few configurations. They mounted them in aircraft, hovercraft, diplomatic cars. Yeah, this one's just got a handset, telephone handset. I actually get very good audio reports on this radio, and it says, you know, 100 watts, but it puts out about 170, 180. That's on a cheap Chinese power meter. I know Robin, the other Robin, not G0GNE, but the other Robin, I can't remember his call sign now, he's got one of these, and he reckons his puts out about 200 watts or so. So they do put out quite a bit of power. Nice audio. Now the control cable, obviously it's quite a long control cable I got with this radio, and it connects up to the main unit. I've got mine on a 12 volt supply. These radios, this is the main unit, I'll talk about that in a minute, but these radios will run off 12 or 24 volts. Now there's a switch inside the main assembly of the radio, and you can switch it between 12 and 24. This one's always been on 12, just because it's easier to power it. No difference at all. You know, it's just whatever power supply you've got. They accommodated, put it in diplomatic cars, so in cars it's 12 volt, and all military appliances and aircrafts 24 to 28 volts. So yeah, so I've just got it connected and powered off a normal power supply. This one's not getting used for that. I use that for 24 volts. So yeah, so these are the two main units. You probably can't see them very well in the light out here, but yeah, you've got the two units, the one on the top and one on the bottom. This here is just a gain, so you can connect up another speaker to this, and that's just the volume gain. There is no power level control apart from the main remote unit. So that's it really. This is an ATU. I got this when I bought the Syncal from Mike Buckley on VMARS. As I said before, it's not quite compatible with the Syncal because this ATU works on breaking the DC voltage. There's a momentary break in the DC voltage which initiates the tune on these, but on the Syncal it sends a serial D word in firmware. It's software driven, the Syncal. So when you've got the Syncal connected to the vehicle interface unit, it disables the ATU inside the Syncal radio, and obviously it needs an external ATU if you're going to use it with a broadband antenna. I tend to use mine with a resonant one anyway, but yeah, this one's compatible with this unit, and I'll talk about that in a minute. I've got it linked up to the ATU just to show everyone. I don't normally link it up because you lose a bit of power through them. I've got the homemade half-wave end fed out there, which is resonant on the 20 meter band. It's flat across the band, so I don't tend to run the ATU. It's just for show really, and just to show that I have it. You can probably see see if I can bring you in here. You can see the plates. Doesn't work very well. Yeah, so you can see it's a VRM 4156. This is the transceiver unit on the top, and the antenna connects into that, and then you've got the amplifier, power amplifier output here on the bottom, from what I remember. Might have got it the wrong way around, but never mind. So this is the power cable, this one, which connects to my power supply. This is the RF in from the antenna. If you weren't going to use the ATU, you would just connect it straight in there. I've got a control cable because I've got the ATU connected. I've got it connected to the coax connector on the back of the ATU. You can connect wire antennas to this as well, directly. So yeah, basically I've got it going via the ATU, but I'd normally just connect the antenna direct into this. And this is the control. This is the one that has the 12 volt supply to the ATU. So I'll show you in a minute how that works. But basically it breaks the supply to the ATU and it causes a tune to initiate, and tunes up the antenna. This is the control head. It connects to here, external control, and the cable just goes straight to the unit. So I'll try and pull this out a bit for you guys to see it. So that's the back of the radio. So there's a cable that connects them both units together, and a fatter cable there, control cable. You could have receive antennas. There is one socket there for a receive antenna. I've never used it. I guess I could. I don't have a manual, so it's quite difficult to work out. I just have to play around with it, but I've not done that. So that's it really. These used to be able to have teleprinters and other devices connected. There is sockets in the back, but I don't think they're used. I think they're blanked off. And that's the back, and I mean that's the ATU. The cover's off. It has this plastic cover that goes on it. Like I said, there is a link connector here, so you can switch between either using a broadband dipole connecting with a coax, or you can switch this bar across and you can directly connect a wire, or in a lot of the situations this was fitted in an FFR, so this would have a short wire connected directly to the whip, and that's why it says whip there. because if you move that plate across, then you can directly connect wire to that. If I'm using it, I usually use coax. So that's the main unit. Yeah, it's the main unit. This here's just desiccator. You unscrew that and there's desiccator in there. Same with the one at the bottom. This one just shows the power on it. So, and that's the ATU, which has the coax and the control like I showed you on the back of the radio, and it connects to the front of the ATU. This would be mounted in a vehicle probably, or wherever. So that's it. So getting back to this, you obviously have the on, which is green. This amber one, receive, is if you're receiving a signal it will flicker. If it goes quiet, that goes out. So if I move across the band, this tune light will start to flash when it needs to be retuned. I'm not sure how intelligent it is to know. I think it just goes on when you move a certain amount of frequency. You need to initiate. So there is a button on the front here, and when you press initiate, this is what causes the break in the power on the ATU through the control cable via the main unit. So you click on that and then it tunes, and the tune light goes out when it's tuned. There is program and channel light if you're using these. The programming, you have to flick this knob right around to start using that. I never bother with it. So that's it. So I'll let you hear the audio.
Thank you very much for calling, Daniel. Good DX and Mathematics is a family.
I'll try and get this guy maybe.
Number 1, Zigzag in the 3778. Merry Christmas, Daniel. Thank you. Ciao. Arrivederci. Thank you, Daniel. In the Tango 77 in Lima, America. QZ20. QRZ USA, please.
Yeah. Doesn't want to talk to me.
Copy very, very little station from Europe. I copy much better India and Middle East area, Roger. Grazie. Only about 500 watts, one element tuning situation in the radio with the icon 7400 is asking.
It's the control unit. So that's it basically. I'd like to get a contact on this so I can let you hear me talking to someone.
Mike Echo Kilo maybe. Mike Echo Kilo.
Try this one maybe.
Papa 4, Mike Echo Kilo, me parece, me confermerá si es correcto el tuyo indicativo, colega. Mi ciudad de Ferrara, Francia, Europa, Radio Alfa, Ferrara. Histórica ciudad del sudoeste.
Someone's splattering the bands there. Oh. Sounds like America. That's good. Try and get this guy. If I don't get splattered by everyone.
Radio 3s, one Radio 3 with radio at the end. Come again? 3 Alpha Radio something. Only that one. There's 2 of you calling. I'm getting confused with the
I'm just going to make sure
Radio
it's
3
tuned
with
to.
Alpha Radio in the call. Come again? Okay, I got 2 Radio 3 calling. There's one with a Quebec in the call, Radio 3 Queen, and there's a Radio 3 Alpha. You guys are making it difficult. The Radio 3 with the Alpha in the call right now. Radio 3 with Alpha in the call. Come again? Okay, I got Radio 3 Yankee Alpha, and I got a Radio 3 with a Golf. Radio 3 Yankee Alpha, come again? Negative. I got a bunch of Radio 3s calling at the same time, so I can't understand any of you. There's too many who calling. The Radio 3, I heard a Radio 3 with a Yankee in the call. Radio 3 with the Yankee in the call. Call again? Yankee America Radio. Okay, Radio 3, is it United Foxtrot? Radio 3 United Foxtrot or Radio 3 Zulu Foxtrot? Radio 3 Yankee America Radio is the code. Okay, I got it that time, and Yankee America standby. Radio 3 Zulu Foxtrot, K2TRD. We got you there that time there. There's so many Radio 3s calling, I couldn't get a correct call straight. You're 5 and 3 in upstate New York. The name is Martin, Mike Alpha, Romeo, Tango, India, November. And I didn't forget about you, the one with the Alpha 3 Papa Tango Alpha. I still got you written down, so I didn't forget you. You're still in my logbook on the paper there. I'll get back to you in a minute. Radio 3 Zulu Foxtrot, K2TRD, over. Okay, Eugene. Well, thank you, Eugene, for coming back to the call. 5 and 4 for you, Eugene. You're 54 in that last over. And I say 73's Merry Christmas, Happy New Year's, Eugene, from my family to yours. And now we'll go take the Radio 3 Yankee Alpha, and then I'm going to get back to Alpha 3 Papa Tango Alpha.
I'm going to pause this for now.
Radio 3 Yankee Alpha, come again?
I think.
Yankee Alpha Radio. We got it that time, Nicholas. No problem, Nicholas. You're 5 and 5 in upstate New York. Radio 6 Yankee Alpha Radio. K2TRD, over. And right to Florida Yankee. Radio 6 Yankee Alpha.